Hi there. So this is an update for the people on my Patreon. If you happen to be seeing this on YouTube instead, there's a link to my Patreon somewhere down below. But today I just wanted to talk a little bit about creative projects because, I know I haven't been very active on the Patreon. Honestly, I never have been. I still honestly don't know what to do with it. I don't want to give up on it, but running that kind of thing does not come naturally to me. And, I'd like to provide things that are interesting and of value to the audience that I have, but I'm not really sure what you want. And so it's always been kind of tricky to try to figure that out. And recently things have been especially hard creatively, just because I've been just absolutely overwhelmed. I need more work. I gotta solve various problems. And I'm also just freaking out because in the next 3 months, I'm gonna be a dad. I mean, I suppose I already am. Just, my daughter isn't out in the atmosphere yet. She's still chilling in her uterine lounge. But yeah, so end of July, beginning of August, yeah, I'm gonna have a daughter, and that's freaking me out. But I'm here today to talk about some creative stuff, things that I'm working on, things that I'm trying to finish. Actually, that's kind of the thing, because I'm really good at starting stuff. I'm really good at starting creative projects. I am not so good at finishing them. For example, this travel book, which I'm going to miss my own deadline again because I can't get my brain to focus. I'm just not making progress. Like, once in a while I'll sit down and I'll put a couple thousand words in, and that's good progress. That doesn't happen nearly enough. One thing that I'm considering doing is just breaking it down, because the book is already going to be in sections. The first section is going to be kind of a philosophical underpinning to travel. The way that I think about travel and how to get more out of it. But so, for example, maybe I'll try to finish that first section, get that out for everybody who's backed it. And that, by the way, is at davidwroteabook.com. But again, if you're seeing this on Patreon, you'll get access to it regardless, just like the zines I've been working on. But yeah, so I might try to just put out that section, then the next section, then the next section, and then finally release the whole thing once it's all done. Another thing is I'm very close to completing. It's kind of a zine, but it's meant to be an accompanying material for the photo walks that I do sometimes. But it'll also be available in general because I think it will function decently as a standalone material. And that's something that I want to get out there. One, because, again, it might be helpful to people, but also just as a way to add value to a service that I'm trying to offer, because I need more bookings. And, even with my marketing skills not being all that great, if I can add more value to what I'm offering, that makes it easier to get more bookings, right? Another thing is a body of work that I created more than 10 years ago when I was living in China. Over the course of the year or so that I was living in China, I did a project that has the working title of Shanghai Environment. And Shanghai Environment is kind of a visual exploration of the city, and it's kind of an outgrowth of trying to find my place in a mega city that I had never even intended to move to. For background, I ended up moving to Shanghai as part of an effort to salvage a relationship that I should have given up on years before that. And so a lot of my life in Shanghai did not work especially well, but this photo project was a way of exploring my relationship with the city. And I really care about the photographs. And I want to put out a zine. I want to sell prints from this project. And it's been tricky because, for a while, I needed to just not look at the work because, by the time I left Shanghai, my life had completely fallen apart and I just wanted to put distance between me and anything related to that time. And while I've since gotten to a point where I can look back on my time in Shanghai and find a lot of good, there's a lot that I miss. I have a lot of fondness for that period. It took some time to kind of come around and be able to look at the work again and figure out what I want to say about it, because it's not just a matter of putting the photographs out. It's also a matter of expanding and finishing the essay that I had started to go with the work. Of course, as with a photography project, it's the photographs that take center stage. Makes sense, right? But I think there's a lot to be said also for the essays that photographers will write. It's not just an artist statement, but something deeper than that. Not to explain or justify the work, but to explore some of the ideas related to the work that I find very interesting, but that are maybe not so easy to get directly just from the photographs. So I think writing can really be paired very well with photography. And so it's just a matter of finishing that, because I've got the pictures. They've been done for 11 years. And I just need to finish the written part of it and then package that together. I will release prints for sale, of course. I will be putting out like an electronic zine version of this body of work. And I will also be doing a print run of this as a photo zine, which will need to be crowdfunded. Printing such things is not cheap, and it's really important for me to get it out there in a way that's printed nicely, that's going to look good, that's going to be worth picking up once at least, and hopefully more than once. I hope it's going to be something that I have executed to a level that is going to be worth revisiting. And then the last creative thing is this other ongoing project called Fade Out, which is a project documenting public telephones, mostly phone booths, in Japan. I've been doing that project for 10 years now. It's to a point where I'm ready to put out an initial publication of at least a few dozen photographs, and again, an essay to go with that. I've started the essay. There's research I need to do to get it to where I want it to be. I've got to find sources for statistical information, statistical information about public telephones in Japan, because there's actually a lot more of them around than people realize. Not as many as there used to be, of course, but more than people expect there to be. And I don't know, I just find them to be interesting and visually compelling as a subject. And I'm going to keep going with the project, indefinitely. I mean, I don't know. At some point, I'll probably lose interest, or it'll feel complete, or it'll just kind of peter out. But it's not to that point yet. And so I want to get this out there again, start selling prints from this body of work, get an electronic publication out there, and also a print publication again, which will need to be crowdfunded initially. But yeah, so you can see some of the Shanghai photographs and some of the telephone project at davidrmunson.com. You may already be familiar with the project, but if not, give it a look. So even though I've not been super active on my blog or the Patreon or anything else for a variety of reasons, I am still working on stuff. And I want to get a lot better at finishing creative work that I start. And I can unpack that another time. There's a surprising complexity to not finishing, but it's something that I want to overcome because there's too much work sitting around that's unfinished. And I want to get it done. I want to get it out in the world. Along those lines, I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to edit this a little bit, and I'm going to put it up. So thanks for watching. And if you're on the Patreon, let me know what you'd like to see, how I can make it better for you, because a lot of the time it's just, I'm just guessing. I'm just kind of flailing around because I don't really know. So thanks for being here once again, and I'll be back hopefully soon with more.